Sai Ram students, let's begin with the class 8 geography. Children, we are doing the chapter number 5 of geography, that is industries. Today we are doing the fourth part of this chapter. In our content, children, we have completed with the introduction. We have seen the classification of industries. You have learned the factors affecting location of industries. In our last session, we learned about the industrial system that consists of inputs, processes and outputs. Then we saw the industrial regions. We saw the major industrial regions all over the world as well as in our country India, right? Then we saw the industrial disasters. We saw the reasons why it happens. And we saw the worst industrial disasters of all time that occurred in Bhopal on 3rd of December 1984. And the second incident we saw that happened in China on 23rd of December 2005. Then we saw the risk reduction measures also to be taken by the industries. Now children, today we are going to start with the topic distribution of major industries. Now distribution of the world's major industries are the iron and the steel industry, the textile industry and the information technology industry. These three are the major industries of all over the world. The iron and steel and textile industries, these are the older industries, whereas you can say the information technology, it is an emerging industry, right? Now the countries in which iron and steel industry is located are Germany, USA, China, Japan and Russia. Whereas the textile industry is concentrated in India, Hong Kong, South Korea, Japan and Taiwan. Then the major hubs of information technology industry are the Silicon Valley of Central California and the Bangalore region of India. So children, you should remember where the world's major industries are located. The iron and steel is in Germany, USA, China, Japan and Russia. Textile industry is in India, Hong Kong, South Korea, Japan and Taiwan. And whereas the information technology industries are the Silicon Valley of Central California and the Bangalore region of India. Now let's move to the topic emerging industries. Children, here just now you saw that the information technology, it is an emerging industry. What does it mean? Emerging industries are also known as sunrise industries. These include information technology as well as the wellness, hospitality and knowledge. So the industry is based on information technology, wellness, hospitality and knowledge. These industries are the emerging industries and these industries are also known as the sunrise industries. Now let's start with the iron and steel industry. See, like other industries, iron and steel industry too comprises the various inputs, processes and output. This is what you have learned in the industrial system only, right? It consists of the main three things, that is the inputs, processes and outputs. This is a feeder industry whose products are used as a raw material for other industries. You may get in one mark answer. Which industry is known as the feeder industry? That is iron and steel industry. Why it is like that? Because the products are used as the raw materials by other industries also. Now here let's begin the inputs for the industry. For the iron and steel industry we are talking here, right? It includes the raw materials such as iron ore, coal and limestone, along with the labor, capital, site and other infrastructure. Children, you have learnt all these factors that are required while choosing the location, right? Now the process of converting iron ore into steel, it involves many stages, right? So the raw material is put in the blast furnace where it undergoes smelting. Now what is that smelting? Smelting, it is a process in which metals are extracted from their ores by heating beyond the melting point. Okay, so try to understand the meaning of smelting. It is a process in which metals are extracted from their ores by heating beyond the melting point. Then the raw material is put in the blast furnace where it undergoes smelting. Then it is then refined. Now the process of smelting is shown to you here. The figure is given in your textbook also, children. That is the figure number 5.6. That is from iron ore to steel in a blast furnace. Here the procedure has been shown to you how it takes place. Then finally the output that comes out obtained is steel, which may be used by other industries as raw material. Now let's understand about the steel. See, steel is tough and it can be easily be shaped, cut or made into wire. So the special alloys of steel can be made by adding small amounts of other metals. See, other metals are mixed up with the alloys of steels. Which other metals? Aluminium, nickel and copper. Even the alloys give steel unusual hardness, toughness or the ability to resist rust. It can be, see, you know very well the steel things doesn't get rusted, right? So that is the reason that alloys that are mixed, the other minerals, the other metals that are mixed here, that is aluminium, nickel and copper, it gives an unusual hardness to the alloys of steel, toughness as well as the ability to resist rust. Now, steel is often called the backbone of modern industry. Why it is called like this? Because almost everything we use is either made of iron or steel or has been made with the tools and machineries of these metals, right? Do you all agree with this thing? Yes, definitely, because it is the backbone of modern industry. See, whatever we use, everything is made up of iron or steel, or you can see it also has the tools and the machineries of these metals. Even the ships, trains, trucks and autos are made largely of steel. Now here we can say even the safety pins and the needles that you use are made from steel, right? Even the oil wells are drilled with steel machinery. Machines are made up of steel that are used for drilling the oil wells. Even the steel pipelines that transport the oil, right? Even we can say the minerals are mined with the steel equipments. Even farm machines that are mostly steel. The machines that are used in the farms also, that is also made up of steel. In the large buildings, they have the steel framework. So from these images, you can understand as how the steel is used at each and every place. Everywhere the steel is used in some other way or along with this alloys, right? Now, what happened? See, before 1800 AD, iron and steel industry was located. You can, this figure is given in your textbook also. Looking at this figure, you will understand the location. See, before 1800 AD, iron and steel industry was located where raw materials, power supply, and the running water were easily available. But later, the ideal location. See children, now here you can understand the location, the factors that were affecting the location of the industries. See how gradually it has changed. Initially in 1800 AD, the preference was given only to the raw materials, availability of the raw materials, power supply and running water, right? But later the ideal location, you can see the best location from 1800 to 1950 is given here now. The ideal location for the industry was near coal fields and close to the canals and railways. Whereas after 1950, the iron and steel industry began to be located on large areas of flat land near seaports. But why this is this is because why the locations, the factors have been kept on changing from 1800, then from 1800 to 1950, then after 1950 it was different. Why the location was, the choosing the location, the factors were added. This is because by this time the steel works had become very large and iron ore had to be imported from overseas. So after 1950, iron and steel industry began to be located on large areas of flat land near seaports. Why they were choosing the seaports? Because the transportation can be done very easily, okay? So this is because by this time the steel works had become very large and iron ore had to be imported overseas, from overseas. So we can say in India, iron and steel industry has developed the advantage of raw materials, cheap labor, transport and the market. Then all the important steel producing centers such as Bhilai, Durgapur, Burnpur, Jamshedpur, Rourkela, Bokaro, these are situated in a region that spreads over 4 states. Which 4 states? That is West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. Then the next is the Bhadravati and the Vijay Nagar in Karnataka, Vishakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh, Salem in Tamil Nadu. These are all other important steel centers utilizing the local resources. So children, you should remember the important steel producing centers very well. Even the other important steel centers that were utilizing the local resources. So you should remember all the centers very well. Now we'll be moving to the most important iron and steel plant in India, that is in Jamshedpur. Before 1947, there was only one iron and steel plant in the country, in our country, that is TISCO. What is that TISCO? That is Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited. That is TISCO. It was privately owned by Jamshedji Tata. Then TISCO was started in the year 1907 at Sakchi, near the confluence of the rivers. Confluence means where the two rivers meet. The confluence of the rivers Subarnarekha and the Kharkai in Jharkhand. These two rivers, they were meeting there in Sakchi. There it started. Then now children, you will see why the location was chosen like this afterwards, because the factors affecting the location of industries have been considered here. Then later on, Sakchi was renamed as Jamshedpur. And geographically, Jamshedpur is the most conveniently situated iron and steel center in the country. Now here children, you can see the image has been given to you that shows you the location of iron and steel industry in Jamshedpur. Now why Sakchi was only chosen as the place for the plantation of for the location of the iron and steel industry? Why? The Sakchi was chosen to set up the steel plant for several reasons. Now let's see what were that reasons. See, this place was only 32 kilometers away from Kalimati station, that is on the Bengal-Nagpur railway line. Children, if you will refer to that map that was given to you for the location of iron and steel industry in Jamshedpur, you will try to understand that is the reason that TISCO was chosen, the place was chosen for TISCO according to the location of it, according to the factors that were available. The first thing is the nearness to the station, okay, that is 32 kilometers away from the Kalimati station on the Bengal-Nagpur railway line. Then the second factor is it was close to the iron ore, coal and manganese deposits, as well as to Kolkata, which provided a large market. Even the market is very close. That is the reason the Sakchi was chosen for the steel plant. Then the next TISCO gets coal from Jharia coalfields and iron ore, limestone, dolomite and manganese from Odisha and Chhattisgarh. So even the coal fields were very nearly located. That is the reason the place was chosen there. Then the Kharkai and the Subarnarekha rivers, these two rivers ensure the sufficient water supply that is required for the TISCO, that is Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited. Okay, and even the government initiatives provided educate capital for its later development. That is the reason Sakchi was chosen to set up the steel plant, for the reasons that you have learnt now. Then in Jamshedpur, several other industrial plants were also set up after TISCO. They produce the chemicals, locomotive parts, even the equipments that are required for the agricultural work, then the machinery, then the cable and the wires, and the tin plate. These all things were also produced there after the. But after that, first one was the TISCO only. Okay, after that, the other industrial plants were also also started there in Jamshedpur. But the development of the iron and steel industry opened the doors to the rapid industrial development in India. We can say this because the development of the iron and steel industry, this opened the doors for what? For the rapid industrial development in India. Almost all sectors of the Indian industry depend heavily on, see, as I told you, that iron and steel is used in each and everything, right? That is the reason all sectors of the Indian industry depend heavily on the iron and steel industry for their basic infrastructure. Even the Indian iron and steel industry consists of large integrated steel plants as well as mini steel mills. It is not like everybody has got the big industries, but even the mini integrated steel plants as well as the mini steel mills were also there. It also includes the secondary producers, rolling mills and the ancillary industries. Now ancillary industries are the industries which supports the primary industries. Primary industries you have already learned, right? The ancillary industries are the supporters of the primary industries. So this is what we have seen. The development of the iron and steel industry opened the doors to the rapid development in India. Now children, you have learnt about the iron and steel industry in India, that is in Jamshedpur, about TISCO. Now we will be learning one more iron and steel industry, that is in Pittsburgh. Now, where is Pittsburgh? It is an important steel city of the United States of America. The steel industry at Pittsburgh enjoys locational advantages. Okay, now see, as we learnt about the TISCO, why that place was chosen for the TISCO, for the plantation of TISCO. Similarly, here also in Pittsburgh, the steel industry enjoys the locational advantages. Some of the raw material such as coal is available locally, while the iron ores comes from the iron mines at Minnesota, about 1500 kilometers from Pittsburgh. Then between these mines and Pittsburgh is one of the world's best routes for shipping ore cheaply. See, here also you can see the all factors have been taken into consideration before choosing the location for the industry. Then the famous Great Lakes waterway, that is connecting, that is the best route for the ship, for the transportation. Then the trains carry the ore from the Great Lakes to the Pittsburgh area. The Ohio, the Monogahela and the Allegheny rivers, these three rivers, they provide adequate water supply. So today, very few of the large steel mills are in Pittsburgh itself. They are located in the valleys of the Monongahela and Allegheny rivers above Pittsburgh and along the Ohio River below it. So these three rivers also, they were supporting the Pittsburgh in having the good water supply. And the finished product, finished steel is transported to the market by both the ways. See, they have the rivers also, as well as they were having the trains carrying the ore from the Great Lakes to the Pittsburgh area, right? So they were transporting the finished products in both the ways to the market by both land as well as by water routes. So we can say the Pittsburgh area has many factories other than the steel mills. These use steel as a raw material to make many different products. Which other products they were making there? Such as the railroad equipments that are required for the railways, then the heavy machinery and rails. So children, you have seen iron and steel. That is the reason it has been called as the backbone of the industry, right? Because iron and steel, these are used as the raw material for each and every other industries, for each and every machineries, right? This is what you have seen. So children, in today's session, we learnt about the distribution of major industries. Then we saw the iron and steel industry. In that you learnt about the Jamshedpur and Pittsburgh, right? Then the next important industry is the cotton textile industry that you will be learning in the next session. Till then, children, go through this presentation very well, read the textbook, and take very good care of your health.